Our next speaker is the owner of Hablon Styles and Hues, a fashion and lifestyle company based in Surrey, British Columbia. She is also a part owner of Hablon de Iloilo, a Philippine-based business that supplies Hablon products in the US and Canada. Currently, she works as events and sponsorship coordinator at the Surrey Board of Trade, a not-for-profit organization that advocates for businesses in the federal, provincial, and municipal governments. She had over 20 years of extensive work experience at Toy Kingdom as Vice President for Operations before migrating to Canada in 2016. She's a graduate of the University of the Philippines in the Visayas, where she obtained her Bachelor of Science in Fisheries. She is married with two daughters, ages 9 and 12, and she is also my client for 7 years now, owning multiple policies with Sun Life. So ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause, virtual applause para sa ating speaker this morning, Miss Rona Doria. Good morning, Miss Rona.
Good morning from here and good morning dyan sa inyo and good evening naman dito sa akin ngayon.
Ayan. Kamusta ka, Ma'am Rona? So all the way
Okay
from
naman.
Canada?
Okay naman. Medyo hinihingal kasi I had to drive my daughters to their catechism. So that's why I wasn't able to join the first half of the session.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank
Ma'am
you
Rona.
for inviting me again, Cecil. Thank you.
My first question with you. Okay ba? Start na tayo.
Yeah. Cecil, intermittent yung yung signal. I cannot hear you.
Am I clear to everyone? Medyo choppy ba ako?
Ayan.
Choppy.
Okay na.
What about this one? Sounds clear?
Yan. Siguro better kung wala yung yung earphones.
Okay, sige. Okay, so I hope clear na lahat. Sige, Ma'am Rona, here's my first question. At what age did you start investing? And ano yung motivation mo? Or sino yung tao naka-influence sa'yo to do that at an early age?
You know, Cecil, my parents are the conservative and traditional money savers. So, my nanay was a grade 2 teacher. Tapos ang tatay ko was an AD officer. And eventually nag-OFW. So similar to probably most of us here, yung mga guests nyo. So nasa public service sila. And they did not believe in investments such as stocks, mutual funds, kasi traditional nga. So piggy bank and bangko lang yan sila. What they learned was to keep their money sa cabinet or sa wallet lang, o kaya ilalagay sa sa drawers. So I can't remember having bills before because usually ang baon ko is mga coins lang. So I started, you asked about like how I started saving and investing. When I was in high school, monthly yung bigay ng allowance ng parents ko. Unlike sa mga nagsasweldo ngayon, di ba? Like every two weeks merong salary. Sa akin monthly. Kaya I have to keep track of my expenses. Tsaka kailangan yan until end of the month, until the last day of the month, magkasya yung monthly allowance ko because I cannot ask for additional funds anymore. That was during high school, which I believe yung ganong sistema was able to, I learned how to keep track of my expenses, how to budget, and how to save as well. So it was my tatay who introduced me to banking when I was in third year or fourth year high school, I think. But of course, for lack of discipline, I would usually make trips to the bank para mag-withdraw. Kaya hindi nag-grow yung pera ko sa bangko kasi panay yung withdrawals. Well, but eventually that training helped me when I went to college kasi I was far away from home. Nasa Iloilo ako nag-aaral eh. And in UP Miagao. So still, monthly pa rin ang bigay ng parents ko. So mahirap manghingi ng additional budget pagka nagkulang ka within the month. So that was the system that my parents trained me on how to manage my money. My nanay and tatay somehow inspired me to be truthful and keep track of all my expenses and savings. There is an anecdote here kasi when my tatay was he was working abroad na. So umalis na siya sa Navy, so nag-abroad na siya. And nanay ko grade 2 teacher. So without realizing, si tatay, he was sending money kasi they planned to buy the house that we are renting. I was siguro mga 2 years old noon or 3 years old at that time. So they wanted to buy the house that we are renting. So my tatay was sending money to nanay. Without my nanay's knowledge, si tatay pala was keeping track of what he sent to nanay and yung estimate na expenses at the same time and estimate savings. So when he came home from after his 2 years contract, nag-compare notes. So tatay said, ito dapat ang expenses ito dapat ang natira sa mga pinapadala ko. So si nanay naman very confident. Nagtataka ngayon tatay ko, very confident ba? Kasi nakita niya dapat may 50,000 sa bank. Malaki at that time, malaki yung 50,000 because that was in the 70s. So here comes si nanay. She showed yung passbook sa tatay ko. And guess what? Sobra pa ng 3,000 pesos yung na-save ng nanay ko. So which is, siguro sabi ng nanay ko, okay, tinatry mo ako kung honest ako or kung marunong ako mag-manage ng money. So that made my tatay realize na, hindi pala to, hindi, may nanay pala is able to keep track of her record and spend wisely and of course save more than pa doon sa expected ng tatay ko. So that's the anecdote. Kaya noon nanay ko pag when we were discussing about finances, yan palagi yung kinukwento niya. Always save and make sure that over ka sa expectation ng partner mo or husband wife. So
wow. Ang galing nun, Ma'am Rons. Ang cute nun, sa mga parents na viewers natin ngayon, very good example yun, na we as parents, ang nakita kong ginawa ng parents ni Miss Rona, talagang training at an early age. Kasi doon talaga magsisimula, training and discipline. And then, cute pala yun, like ako I'm married. So, magawa nga din ngayon, yung pareho kaming naglilista. Parang merong at some point, parang merong competition. Sino yung mas magaling magtabi? Sino yung mas wise ba pagdating sa savings? Yan. Thank you, Ma'am Rons. Ang ganda nung tinuro ng parents mo sa'yo. My next question. Since na-train ka at an early age, and syempre, dahil maaga kang naturuan, kumbaga naging habit mo na yan. Kasi gano'n naman yun, di ba? Parang eventually, nagiging habit forming na siya. Up until, naging diligent ka na pagdating sa investing. My next question to you, Ma'am Rona, what are the strategies na kinonsider mo into investing? Yan. So along the way, nung natututo ka na, ano yung makinonsider mo?
Alam mo, Cecil, When I landed on my first job at age 22, my salary was just measly 3,510. So roughly mga 135 a day. Unlike compared sa daily wage ngayon, siguro mga 500 na or 600 plus. So it wasn't really easy to budget because I have to pay for my rent. Nagre-rent ako because I live in condo. And ang bahay namin nasa Cavite City. I have to pay for my food. I have to pay for my transportation. And of course, at least to contribute kahit minimal lang dun sa household expenses sa Cavite. So at that time, before yung at that time, my sister, older sister ko, used to work for another insurance company. And she encouraged me to get life insurance. So since my parents were the traditional money savers and non-believers in life insurance, so it took some time for my sister to get my nod, to get my yes na okay, I'll get an insurance from you. So ako naman, since sister ko siya, I wanted to help her to earn her commissions as well. So matagal na explanation kasi nga ano ba yung life insurance, 'di ba? Parang when you talk about life insurance, nakakatakot pakinggan bakit mamamatay ba ako? Bakit kailangan kong mapataan yung kamatayan? Wala naman akong sakit. Well, that's the typical notion natin about life insurance. But anyway, due to her consistent prodding and kapatid ko, syempre, kailangang mag-earn din siya ng commission. So, in my own little way, sige, kuha ko sa iyo ng insurance. Pero yung pinaka-mura lang yung kaya ng 3,510 na sweldo monthly. Ano kaya yon? So, little did I know na meron palang ganon. Like, you can get a life insurance na at that time, siguro parang mga 200,000 yung amount.
Coverage.
Coverage, yeah, yung coverage. And then the premium was 2,000 something lang annually.
Wow,
that time mura kasi I was just 22 years old. So sabi ko, sige, kinakount ko, pwede, kasya yan sa sweldo ko. So pwede. So that's how I ended up with my first life insurance. Now, you asked about the strategies that I have used in investing. When I mentioned to you na maliit lang yung sweldo ko. So pagka meron akong konting naipon, tinatabi ko to pay for the annual premium or whatever dues na parating. And then so sister ko, I helped her. Eventually nag-diversify ako. How did I diversify? Kasi I have some friends or relative ng friend ko na naging life insurance advisor. So tinutulungan ko din sila para makakuha ng commission. Win-win situation because I help them and they help me. So mutual benefit for two parties. So that's the first one. I diversified. I thought of my parents and my siblings. Sabi ko, the funds that I have ba or even the savings would be enough if I leave this world. Kaya na mabayaran yung aking burial o kaya yung whatever, kung may debts man ako na maiwan. Kaya ng funds na yon. So sabi ko, hindi. Sige, kuha pa ako ng isa pang uling life insurance with my parents naman as my beneficiaries. Then naisip ko, teka, bakit muna life insurance? Bakit hindi ako kumuha ng health insurance? Although there was an HMO at the same time may PhilHealth sa trabaho. Pero here comes my another agent na kaibigan ng sister ko. She brought up this product na health that would cover critical illnesses. Is, diba, hindi naman yan talaga maiiwasan. Eventually, baka kung hindi ka rin talaga dahil sa lifestyle natin, dahil sa stress, ang daming mga nagsusulputang sakit. Sabi ko, sige, that's good. So kumuha ako noon. Kasi sabi ko nga, I have to take care of myself for me to take care of other people. Pag nawala ako, sino rin ba ang kung hindi ko alagain sarili ko, so what will happen? Wala rin magbabayad ng mga panggamot ko sa hospital, etc. So that's how I ended up with health insurance. And then I also mentioned na yun nga, tinutulungan ko yung ibang mga friends. So may mga nag-offer na naman. If I may just mention, kaya nag-diversify na from unang-unang insurance ko kasi is Manulife. That's where my sister started. So Manulife, and then somebody from Phil offered, because she's a friend, sige, kuha ko ulit. Friend yung auntie nung kaibigan ko nag-offer, sige, kuha ako sa iyo. Tapos eventually si Sun Life, and then yung isang office mate namin ni Cecil sa Toy Kingdom dati, nag-resign. She's with another insurance company. O sige, tulungan kita para maka-take off ka. So again, that's how nag-diversify yung insurance investments ko. Second strategy is I pay myself first. So I make sure that I keep 20 to 30% of whatever money that I earn from my work. I think it was mentioned by Willie kanina sa sa presentation niya. So in my early years of work, I can only save 10% because my earnings are not enough to cover for my daily expenses. So okay na yung start mo na ng 10%, and eventually kung merong extra, then dagdag lang ng kung napopromote or nag-i-increase yung salary every year sa company. So nadadagdagan siya from 10%, naging 12, naging 15, whatever is comfortable na makuha mo sa net income. And then third is you have to be informed and be patient. I'm also a conservative investor, so I don't put in high risk investments. Understand what you're getting into before placing your hard-earned money in any investments. If you don't, you might end up losing, or you might end up using your health insurance, or worse, your life insurance because of stress, because of death. Kakaisip ng di ba?
True.
Di ba? Minsan yung may pera tayo na may nagsabi lang na, this will give you 50% return. O sige, lalagay mo na dyan yung hard-earned money, hard-earned savings mo. Yung pala, it's a scam. So, mahirap yon. Kaya you have to be informed, and of course, you have to be patient. Huwag yung gusto natin agad yung malaking returns. When I was in working sa store sa Toy Kingdom before, nag-invest ako sa BDO, yung mga UITF nila. Okay? Paano yung tingin ko? Paano yung tingin ko kung magkano na yung pera ko doon?
Yung return mo.
Oo, pero I keep on checking. So nakita ko bumababa. There was no one who explained to me na yung pala paper loss lang. Na eventually, pwedeng bumaba siya ngayon, tapos eventually lalaki. That was back in the 90s. So, sa takot ko, sabi ko, nako, yung money na nilagay ko dito, sa takot ko, winidraw ko lahat. Di ba, pag nag-invest ka pala, and then you withdraw nang wala pang, naka-lock in siya, let's say for 1 year. Tapos earlier mo siya winidraw. Meron pala yung service fee. Ang daming mga charges.
Yes.
So ngayon, tinanggal ko. Sige, okay lang. Kahit maraming charges, tanggalin ko na lang kasi mawala. You know what happened? After a month, when I checked, biglang tumaas. Kaya it is, it is best that you be patient and wait lang kasi paper loss lang pala yan. Hindi yan yung biglang ganun pala yung market. Pwedeng bumaba ngayon and eventually tataas din ulit. So yun ang mga na-experience ko before.
Ayan, so true. Thank you, Ma'am Rona. I-recap ko, Ma'am, no? Kasi gusto ko yung ginawa mo dun sa diversification. Kasi yung iba, normally ang diversification na ginagawa, nilalagay lang sa iba-ibang investment instrument. Pero ang ginawa mo, parang naglagay ka as life insurance, kumuha ka rin as critical illness. Kumbaga, lahat ng needs in-address mo together with that diversification. Yun yung isa sa ma'am, no? Sa isa sa pinakamaganda na ginawa mo na majority hindi alam ng iba. Ang alam kasi ng iba, may coverage na ako, may life insurance na ako. So, ang alam nila, pag meron ng isa, yun na yun. So parang hindi nila na-realize na, ang dami palang i-cover. Kasi hindi, sa totoong buhay, hindi naman nawawala ang tao, di ba? Nagkakasakit muna. And pag nagkasakit, anong mangyayari? Di ba gagastos muna para madugtungan yung buhay? So yun ang importante. Kailangan fully covered or sabi nga natin, dapat kumpleto ang ating portfolio.
That's true, Cecil. If I may add lang, no? Diba sabi ko, I first got my life insurance. And then later on, naisip ko, teka muna pala, paano pala, hindi pa naman ako agad mamamatay siguro. So, kailangan ko muna pag-isipan, paano pala kung ma-hospital ako. So, that's how I invested sa, sa health insurance. And then after health insurance, nung okay na ako sa life, meron na rin akong health insurance, I thought of, teka, paano pag nag-retire ako? What can I, pag nag-retire ako, syempre wala na akong source of income. So while I can still work, I can still earn ngayon and have the capability to save and invest. So that's how I got another investment, yung retirement naman. And meron ding endowment Like you pay for a certain time, let's say 10 years or 20 years, and it's participating. So every year nag-earn siya ng dividends, pero I did not loan, hindi ako nag-loan, hindi ko rin siya ginamit as collateral. Although pwede gawin yun if you need, di ba? If there's a need for you to loan, pwede mong kunin yan against your policies. Or pwede mo rin gamitin yung policy mo as collateral. But I did not do that. So I just left it there. And there's this certain insurance policy na after paying 10 years, yung mga succeeding ko, I don't shell out money na kasi the dividends are enough to pay for the premium. So,
yes.
Nagagamit din yung dividend at the same time.
Ayun, ang galing, Ma'am Rons, no? Maganda talaga kasi yung mga plans ng, kunwari, ng lahat ng insurance company, pare-pareho naman yan. Kumbaga, naman yan merong particular plan according sa iyong particular need. Kaya that's why hindi lang dapat talaga nag-stick sa isa. Maganda yung sinabi mo or yung ginawa mo sa iyong retirement. Kasi di ba ngayon, we are working for money. Tama? Kaya tayo actively earning Kailangan natin ng pera. Yun ang dahilan. So maganda, while we are actively earning, nag-iipon din tayo para by the time we retire, there is money that will work for us. So sabi nga natin, yung inipon mo ngayon, yan ang magiging sweldo mo kapag wala ka ng sweldo. So yun siya. And then, gusto ko rin yung yung ginawa mo, Ma'am Rona. Ito lagi ko itong tinatanim sa isip ko. Simula nung natutunan ko siya. PYF. Pay yourself first. Kada sweldo mo, talagang kumurot ka ng konti. Kung ano yung kaya mo. Kumurot ka ng konti, 10%, 20%. Kung ano yung amount na hindi ka masasaktan. Diba? Doon ka magsimula. Kumurot ka ng konti, itabi mo kasi yan ang pangsweldo mo sa sarili mo pagdating ng araw. Itong pandemic, Ma'am Rona, ako may personal experience. Naku, ang daming nagalit doon sa mga investment. Cecil, bakit ganito na lang yung pera ko? Diba? Especially nung unang bulusok ng pandemic talaga. But ano lang talaga, no, tama yung sinabi mo, Ma'am Rona. We just have to, we just have to be patient and wait. Ayan si Ma'am Rona, no? Grabe. Ang dami niyang investment sa akin sa Sun Life. Pero, wait, hindi siya nagalit sa akin, ha? Sabi lang niya sa akin,
Akala mo lang yun.
grabe,
Hindi.
yung policy sa akin, lahat loss.
Sa totoo lang, Cecil, alam mo yung mga time na, kailan ba, last year yun, di ba, 2020, nung tiningnan ko, sabi ko, ano ba yan? Nasaan na ba si Cecil? Pero hindi eh. Nayaan ko na lang. Kasi eventually, ganun talaga, there's an economic slump. What can we do? It's global.
Yes.
But, you know what? Okay, ito, Sun Life Philippines, yan bumagsak, di ba? If I can just share this, at the same time, so I was looking at Sun Life Philippines and Sun Life Canada. Kasi I also have insurance policies with Sun Life Canada. Bagsak din. But the thing is, after, that was March, nung last nag-check ako na bagsak, both Philippines and Canada. Pero dito sa Canada, nung pagdating ng August, nag-gain na siya, nag-start na siya mag-gain. Hanggang sa gumanda na rin yung economy despite na may pandemic. Ayun, ngayon it's gaining. Tinitingnan ko, it's gaining. Ang positive outlook ko lang doon is it may be sa Philippines kasi because of the economy, you know very well, lahat ng mga audience natin dito, alam niyo kung ano nangyayari sa Pilipinas right now. But, nung chinek ko, it's starting to gain. So, eventually, magkakaroon na rin ng traction yan. And by next year, who knows? These are just paper laws. Ito yung sinasabi natin na paper laws lang to, but eventually, tataas yan. And they say nga, di ba, pag down ng economy, pag down ng market, that's the best time that you buy. So yung kung sino man kung may extra money kayo ngayon, now is the best time to buy. Kasi mababa pa siya. Mabibili siya ng mababa. Pagdating niyan, by the time na pagdating ng next year, tataas na rin yan agad. So meron na kayong gain doon.
Yan, yes, very true yon, Ma'am Rona, no? Like si Sun Life, no, i-plug ko lang ng konti. Yung index fund ni Sun Life, 0.95 centavos na ngayon. Coming from 0.80 something before. It's going up. So, kung may mga extra funds kayo, simple lang, open a mutual fund online. Put it in an index fund. Lahat ngayon pwede nang gawin online. Yan, okay. Ma'am Rons, I'm down to my last 3 questions pa pala. Okay. My next question is, since maaga kang nag-invest, currently, how are you benefiting from those investment na ginawa mo?
Okay, so I bought my first insurance from Manulife. Okay, the first insurance, well, that's the first company that I knew. Kasi nga yung sister ko, dun siya nag-work. So I qualified for the stock conversion. That was in 1994, I think. I qualified for the stock conversion when they offered when they opened for IPO, yung initial public offering nung 1995. So yung small investment ko dun sa Manulife, I had stock options which eventually I used naman to pay off my credit card debts at that time. Ito, Cecil, yung sinasabing mga mistakes. Panahon na yon, because I could have sold the stocks ng mas malaki, but eventually I had to sell it at a lower price kasi nga hindi ako marunong gumamit pa ng credit card at that time. I was just 22 years old. Pag first time ka nakahawak ng credit card, akala mo, uy, may pera. Paano kaya yung magic na nakakabili ka ng kung ano-ano, nakakapag-shopping ka dahil wala ka namang nilalabas na pera sa wallet. So yun. I had the stock options na nakuha sa Manulife. And then another benefit naman is when I had my miscarriage dun sa second pregnancy ko, the health insurance that I got, it helped me fund yung portion ng ng surgery at hospital bills. Malaking bagay yun. And then I also bought an education plan with an insurance component for my two daughters when they were age 0 pa lang, baby, payable in 5 years. And after 5 years, naka-receive na sila ng payout. So my first daughter is 12 years old, my second daughter is 9 years old. Yung first daughter ko, nung nag-turn 7 siya, she already received the payout. That's intended for her education because it's an education plan with an insurance component. So same applies dun sa second daughter ko, who is 9 years old. The good thing is, because we're here in Canada right now, and ang school is free, education is free, kasi nasa public school sila nag-aaral. So we don't have any need for that right now. So what I arranged with the insurance company and my agent is to, I got another insurance from them para lahat ng payout nila doon papasok. So every year. So obviously, it's growing and insured pa sila. So that's the best, I think so far, that's the best investment din na nakuha ko, yung zero age yung mga bata. Kasi malakas pa sila, tawag ito, di ba ang insurance premium natin is commensurate sa age and sa conditions nila. So yun. So until they turn 20, meron silang marireceive sa insurance company. And then I have insurance policies also bought in my early 20s that have matured. So nag-mature na siya. Ang sarap lang ng feeling na, uy, yung binabayaran ko pala noon, 20 years ago, nag-mature na, and then they gave me all of it. Yung coverage plus the dividends na unexpectedly, hindi mo iniisip na meron ka palang ganung na-save. Sa sweldo mo na 3,000 pesos lang a month. Diba? And that one, when they gave it to me, I converted them to dollars, US dollars and Canadian dollars. Tapos ininvest ko na siya dito. So these are the benefits that I reaped for investing early.
Ayan. Ang galing, ma'am, no? So, talaga, it pays kung maaga ka talagang nagsimula. Kasi maaga mo rin siyang na-enjoy. Pag kasi medyo late na, tapos nung nag-mature, medyo maedad ka na, hindi ka na pwedeng kumain ng masasarap, di ba? Kasi bawal na ang matamis, ganyan. Hindi naman na ma-enjoy. And isa yung na-realize ko, ma'am, no? Yung sinabi mo na nung nagkaroon ka ng hospitalization, nagamit mo yung mga benefits mo. So ito talaga, yung insurance or yung health needs, talaga yan parang get it while you don't need it. Kunin mo na. Kasi hindi mo kasi pag kailangan mo na at gusto mo nang kumuha, dahil may health component ito, baka hindi ka na pwedeng kumuha.
Yes, Cecily, if I may add lang dyan sa statement mo na yan. Yung yaya namin na yun ang hindi ko siya nakuna ng insurance. And now that she's working sa Saudi, she just told me, nung umalis kami, so nag-apply na rin siya sa Saudi. And sabi ko sa kanya, kumuha ka na ng insurance. Health insurance, importante yan, or life insurance. Which she did not heed. In fact, pinakilala ko yata sa'yo, Cecil, yung si Yaya. Ngayon, hindi naman niya ginawa. And last month lang, she called me and she said na meron siyang leukemia. Nakakapanlumo lang na ang tanong ko sa kanya, so paano yung yung hospital bills mo, yung medication mo, anong mangyayari dyan? sabi ko, kumuha ka ba dun sa yung sinabi ko sa yung kumuha ka ng health insurance sa Sun Life. Sabi niya, ate, hindi ko nagawa eh. So yun. Diba? It's so sad lang. And then there's another one. This is an ironic situation. Insurance agent siya. The son did not believe, her son did not believe sa insurance at that time. Hindi rin siya kumuha kasi alam niya merong HMO.
HMO. Yeah.
Plus PhilHealth. So sabi, enough na daw yan kasi covered naman ng company. So sad. Last year, nagkaroon siya ng sakit sa puso, inatake. He was young. He is young. Buhay pa naman siya ngayon. The hospital bills lang, umabot ng 7 million. Sayang, di ba? Kasi, and it's so ironic because the mom is an insurance agent pero hindi niya na encourage yung anak niya to get an insurance, health insurance. So, ngayon, umabot ng ganun kalaki. Kaya nga, while you can, kahit hindi mo pa kailangan, kumuha na kayo. Oo. Tama yung sinabi mo, Cecile. Habang hindi kailangan, mag-start ng mag-invest.
Ay, nakakalungkot naman yon, Ma'am Rons. Grabe. Anyway, ganun talaga. Actually, yung kliyente ko nga na namatay last year, single din siya. He's only 28-year-old. Sudden heart attack na. So, it's good na meron siyang coverage, no? Nakakalungkot, no? But you know what? Yung getting an insurance kasi or getting a coverage, yes, it is an expense. Kasi babayaran mo talaga yun eh. But come to think of it, pag naman nagkasakit ka at nandiyan na nga, siyempre kailangan naman isi-save yung buhay mo. Sino ba or kanino mo ba gustong kuhain ang pambayad sa hospital? Doon ba sa sarili mong pera or doon sa iyong health plan? So, parang you just have to choose lang naman between the two, no? Sinong gusto mong gumastos? Ikaw mismo o yung insurance or yung health plan mo? Kasi yung getting an insurance is a transferring of risk, the risk of your life to the insurance company. Down to last 2 questions, Ma'am Rona. So, ang aga mong nagsimula, ngayon, kumbaga hina-harvest mo na lang ng pakinabang sa mga maagang investment mo. Meron ka pa bang regrets? Meron ka pa bang pinagsisisihan na, sana pala ganito ang ginawa ko, sana pala dinagdagan ko or something?
Wala naman kasi ngayon I don't have much. I mean, hindi naman excess, no? It's just that enough na at least to fund yung kailangan namin ng family ko. Tapos yung daughters ko at a young age, marunong rin sila mag-save and covered din sila. And then even my husband. So, alam mo yung makakatulog ka ng komportable na wala kang iisipin na what if something happens unexpectedly? Will my family survive? Diba? Kung ikaw ang breadwinner sa pamilya nyo, tapos kung meron pang mga debts na kailangang bayaran, kaya nila na after morning, makaka-recover ba sila agad? So far the only regret that I can think of right now are yung mga mistakes that I have made building my portfolio. If I manage siguro yung spending and savings ko during my younger years, I would have not gotten into trouble. Like I mentioned earlier, yung stock options. May stocks tapos binenta ko siya just to pay for my credit card debt ng 635 per unit. Samantalang after 2 months, it was already selling at 1,000 plus. Diba? Imagine, 100% agad.
Times 2 agad.
Yun yung regret ko na wala akong alam kasi sa sa mga credit card, how to use credit card at that time. Kaya nasayang, pero at least I gained naman learnings. Diba?
So, ganun pa ma'am, I can assess na nakapag-prepare ka pa rin ma'am. Kasi imagine at your age now, kumbaga nag-e-enjoy ka na. Ma'am, last question, Ma'am Rons, bago ka namin pakawalan this morning. Any investment advice or tips na pwede mong i-share sa mga viewers natin today?
Ay, naku, madami.
Sige,
Kasi
let's bring out our notes, guys, para makuha natin yan.
based on my experience, mga bad decisions and learnings. Yan. So as we all know, insurance is considered as a liability because you have to pay for premiums, whether it's monthly, quarterly, or annually. But eventually, it becomes an asset. I tell you, it becomes an asset. You will realize that it can answer any future financial needs. Ang first tip is it is best to invest while you are still young. For those of you here who joined the session, kung bata pa kayo, wow, mag-leverage kayo. Leverage on time. Pero kung nasa middle age na tayo, hindi pa rin huli ang lahat.
Yeah, true.
Diba? Hindi pa huli ang lahat. Habang humihinga tayo, may pag-asa. Palagi may chance while we're breathing. I suggest that you prioritize life and health insurance, especially with the current COVID pandemic. Who would have thought na etong COVID would affect everyone globally, ba? And it could even ruin you sa isang hospitalization lang. Pwede niyang masira yung buhay niyo di ba? Good if you survive. Paano kung hindi makasurvive? Maraming ganyan ang situation na hindi nakasurvive. And kung nakasurvive man, ang laki-laki naman ng gastos sa hospital. It's heartbreaking. Okay, so now if you're able, you start your investment now. Now is the right time. Okay? When you have life and health insurance na, plan to have a retirement investment. This way you won't stress and worry when retirement from work comes. Remember, when you retire, it doesn't mean that retirement from work doesn't only mean being out of work due to age. It could also mean retirement from work due to disability. Diba? Kung biglang hindi ka na makapagtrabaho. So at least you have something na meron kang naipundar or naitabi. So life insurance, health insurance, and then retirement. Okay? Because it may sound scary and morbid, but let's face it, eventually we will all go there. So death is imminent. So it is best to prepare for it. Second tip is, or second advice is, start small and leverage on time. You don't need to get a high insurance policy. Like I said, I got mine na 200,000 lang. Kasi nga, lit-lit ang sweldo ko, hindi ko kakayanin yung malaking premium. Eventually, yung isang yon nadagdagan ng isa pa, tapos nadagdagan pa ng isa uli, hanggang sa dumami na siya, and then nakapag-diversify ako. And so you can always start with something small and eventually grow your portfolio over time. Get a participating insurance that will eventually help you pay for the premium in the long run when it earns dividends. And also get an insurance policy that you can manage to pay Huwag yung kuha agad ng malaki, tapos pag nagkaroon ng financial need, biglang, ako Cecil, di na muna ako makakabayad hanggang sa nakalimutan na. Yung next month na ako magbabayad, o kaya next year na lang. Huwag yung ganon. Kung kukuha kayo, kuha lang yung sapat lang, yung kaya ng budget. And then eventually, pag merong extra, kuha uli ng isa. Kasi ang insurance naman, hindi naman yung one time, big time eh. So, yun. Start small and leverage on time. Number 3 is you can pay your premium monthly, but whenever possible, choose to pay annually, as this gives you lower rate. May discount if you pay annually. My strategy in saving for a yearly premium is to set aside a certain amount. So, halimbawa, my due date is November 27. So, pag nabayaran ko na yung due date ko na annual, November 27 today, what I will do is equally divide the annual premium into 12 months. And then, kung magkano man yan, I set aside that amount, automatic na it is deducted from my salary. It goes to the expense account. Now, the expense account, which is intended for payments of life insurance, kasi 1 year pa naman bago ko siya uli babayaran. Pero monthly, napopondohan na siya. That expense account, nilalagay ko naman siya sa mutual fund para nag-earn siya ng interest. Now, the mutual fund where I placed them, ito yung pwedeng i-withdraw anytime without incurring any service fee or penalty. So yon. At least yung budget mo na panggastos mo, pambayad mo sa insurance na hindi mo pa naman ginagamit ngayon, nag-earn siya ng dividend.
Tama.
Diba? So yan ang pinaka gusto kong ginagawa ko ngayon. Now, I also use my credit card in paying for my insurance dues kasi you earn points. Diba? Pagka nagbayad ka ng insurance, pag ginamit mo yung credit card mo, may points yan eh. However, make sure that you keep track of your credit card expenses. Baka naman na, gamitin ko nga to, tama, no, to pay for my insurance. Tapos hindi mo naman nabayaran yung credit card mo. So bali wala din yung quote unquote savings na component. Naging patuloy, napariwara ka pa dahil babayad ka ng penalty and credit card charges pag di ka nakapagbayad ng credit card mo. Next is you have to take time to review your budget. In my case, I always go back to my budget na Excel spreadsheet to check the schedule of payments and available funds that I have. So every payday, 20 to 30% of my salary goes to the expense account. Goes to the savings. Goes to my savings account, and then whatever is left, pang expenses na yon. And this way, you don't have to worry where to get money to pay for your insurance dues. Then for those who are starting a family, baka merong mga merong mga chikiting pa na kung habang bata pa yung mga anak nyo, get an insurance for them because they have lower premiums. We all know that insurance premiums are commensurate with age and health status. So in my case, since I already have, I'm covered na life insurance, my retirement, and as well as my husband. So we are now building our daughter's portfolio. Meaning, sila yung naka-insure, sila yung kinuna ng insurance, pero ang owner is kami pa rin. Tama? Kasi hindi pa sila they're not of the right age pa, not legal age pa. So,
Yes, pwede yun.
kami ang owner, kami nagbabayad, pero sila yung insured. So, mababa lang yung binabayaran na na premium for them. So yun, that's I think yan ang pinakamagandang tip. Gamitin niyo yung mga anak niyo. Sa
Yes.
mabuting paraan, ha? Hindi yung sa masamang paraan. Invest on your children. Now, when you invest in mutual funds or stocks, which Sun Life also offers, don't be discouraged when the interest rate dives. Okay, just leave them. Don't look at them. Isipin nyo na lang na, oops, wala yan. Wala yan sa wala yan sa listahan nyo. Don't withdraw when the economy is in a slump. Anything that goes down will eventually go up. Okay, so yung sinabi ko kanina, it's just paper loss. Eventually, tataas din yan. And yan. I also teach this is my 8th advice. I also teach and encourage my daughters to save. So they put their money in the bank, and when it reaches a certain amount, we put them in Sun Life Canada, that they can eventually dip their hands into when they need it. So at least kung mag-graduate sila or magbakasyon sila, meron silang makukuhang pera. They don't need to ask money from us. So that's and it's really best that we teach our children how to save. And plus kung may savings sila, they tend to be generous. No, like kung merong mga donation or fundraising, sometimes they would tell me, Nanay, like what happened dun sa yung bagyo dyan last year. They saw yung mga pets, yung mga dogs na nasa roof. My daughter said, Nay, please withdraw money from my bank and give half to the people and give half to the animals. So like when you teach them how to save, you also teach them to be generous and to be kind. Ang sarap lang ng feeling na yung mga bata that they learn these things early para later on in their life, 'di ba? Hindi sila selfish. And give back and help other people too. So lastly, kung meron mang mga insurance professionals, okay? You have to believe them. Wag yung isipin na, ay, peperahan ako nito. Wag ganon. Kasi if I did that, kung iniisip ko yan, sa sister ko lang, kung iniisip ko lang, gusto mo lang magkaroon ng commission, siguro hindi ako matututo, hindi ko malalaman yung mga ganitong advantages pala and benefits that you could reap later on. So, like ngayon, what Cecil's team is doing right now is really beneficial, especially to those na wala pang masyadong knowledge on how to invest. So yun, wag niyo isipin na the insurance agents are just here to make money out of you. No, they're here to help. They're here to help you. And yeah, maniwala kayo and build a relationship. That's
wow.
all.
Thank you, Ma'am Rona. Grabe, busog na busog, no? Thumbs up nga kung ganun din yung naramdaman ninyo. Busog na busog tayo ngayong umaga. Grabe, Ma'am, alam mo, kinalabutan ako, no, dun sa sinabi mo, na nung sinabi nung anak mo na mag-withdraw from her account and donate it to the Philippines. Wow, Ma'am, as early as that age, alam mo, naisip yun ng bata. Grabe, no? Ang galing talaga. Maganda talaga na merong talagang maganda yung foundation or training ng mga bata. Mami, highlight ko lang ng konti yung number 2 tip na sinabi mo kanina. Kasi ito yung mga experience ko itong pandemic. Yung mga client ko biglang biglang kakasimula pa lang ang mga plan, winidraw na or hindi na nabayaran, which is understandable. But you know what? Kaya talagang pag nagsimula ka, start small. Kung ano lang muna yung kaya mong bayaran, doon ka muna magsimula. Kasi ganito yan eh. Kung nag-start ka ng malaki and then hindi mo rin naman naituloy, and then something happened to you being the insured, bali wala din po yun. Kung pag nawala ka, lapse naman ang iyong policy. Sabi nga po, no, the best insurance is the one that is enforced at the time of death.
That's true.
Yes, maliit o malaki. Basta kung nandyan at kailangan na, maganda enforce ang plan mo. Kasi kung
Correct.
lapse yan, kahit ilang taon mo pa yan binayaran, kung lapse naman, bali wala din po yun. Kaya gusto kong i-highlight yung sinabi ni Ma'am Rona na start kung ano lang yung kaya mong i-manage bayaran. And then i-highlight yung isa pa kasi ito ginagawa ko rin. Yung meron kang spreadsheet, di ba? Yung meron kahit yung simpleng Excel form lang. Tapos yung every day, every week, or every payday, i-update mo. Maganda kasi mag-budget pag nakikita mo. Kasi yung hinuhulaan mo lang. Kasi di ba pag labas ka ng labas, wala ka nang inilalabas, tapos nagtatanong ka ngayon sa sarili mo, ay, saan na napunta ang pera ko? Bakit naubos? Hindi mo ma-recall saan mo ba yung nadala, ano ba ang iyong nabili. So, the best memory is an ink talaga or that spreadsheet. So, maganda talaga yung merong spreadsheet.
And remember, Cecil, sa atin, di ba? Pag ang 1,000 pesos mo na baryahan, ay nako, hindi na mag-stop yan. Pagka nabawasan, kahit mabawasan mo lang yan ng 5 pesos or 20 pesos at na-turn na yung 1,000 bill into several bills and coins, uubos na agad yan.
Yes, lalo na ngayon, Ma'am Rons, no, dito sa atin sa Philippines. Nako, agree with me sa ating mga viewers. Yung 1,000 mo, di ba, pambili mo lang yun ng pagkain sa maghapon. Hindi ka pa nga maluho noon. So, all the more na kailangan knowledgeable tayo in terms of spending and budgeting.
Plus, Cecil, if I may say lang, like dito sa session natin siguro meron tayong mga palaging nakasanayan na okay, bili ng coffee or kain sa labas. Diba? Ganyan tayo di ba? Kain sa labas, pagka magla-lunch break, sa mall pumupunta dahil we work sa sa mall So wala ka namang ibang pupuntahan. Paglabas mo ng tindahan, talagang sa restaurant ang diretso mo. Kung yan, babawas-bawasan lang natin yung trips to the mall, trips to the restaurant, trip to Starbucks, and then put that budget na ginagastos natin for our mga whims. Set aside mo lang yan para sa insurance or savings. Yan. Mas magbe-benefit tayo.
Very true yan, Ma'am Rona. No? Akala natin yung trip abroad lang, ha? Buwasan din natin pala yung trip to Starbucks. O, di ba? Trip to SM Mega Mall. Wow, ang daming mga trips na pwede naman palang i-lessen, no? Hindi kailangan trip abroad. With that, Ma'am Rona, thank you so much. So, i-award, Ma'am, namin yung aming certificate sa'yo for this morning. Thank you so much, Ma'am. Talagang each time na nag-guest ka dito sa aming webinar, grabe, Ma'am Rons, no? Hindi na uubos talaga yung mga learnings namin. So, Ma'am Rons, this is a certificate of appreciation. The certificate is proudly presented to Ms. Rona and Doria for sharing her valuable knowledge and expertise as a guest speaker during our virtual financial planning entitled Tips on Personal Finance Management. Given this 27th of November 2021. Ayan, so ako po yan, yung Field Sales Manager